Welcome back to our channel, fellow Port Charles addicts. It is Friday, a beautiful day to dive into the absolute madness that our favorite soap just dropped on us. Grab a coffee or something stronger, because we have a lot to unpack today. I am losing my mind over Willow Kane. I am literally typing this at 2 in the morning because I cannot sleep after watching what Willow is doing right now. I mean, are you kidding me with this? I have been watching this show since 2015. And this villain arc for Willow is both the absolute best and the absolute worst thing they have done in years. I am so frustrated with her, but I also cannot look away for a single second. I cannot believe she actually marched into Jack Brennan's office to make a deal. Like, the sheer audacity of this woman. She sits down for a meeting with the former head of the WSB, a man who has ordered hits and manipulated global events, and she thinks she can just play let's make a deal with him. It is absolute insanity, but she is doing it anyway. So Willow sits down for this meeting with Brennan, and she actually has the nerve to deliver a proposal to him. She looks him dead in the eye and suggests that they are in a position to help one another. And I am just sitting here screaming at my television, "Girl, you are playing with fire and you are going to get burned." But she is desperate, and desperate people do incredibly stupid things. She knows that her mother, Nina Reeves, has been stalling on betraying Charlotte Cassadine and delivering the Valentine Cassadine intel that Brennan so desperately needs. Nina is actually trying to protect her family for once, but Willow only cares about Willow right now. Because, let's be real, remember why she is doing this. Brennan is holding that damning traffic cam footage over her head. The footage that puts her right near the scene of Drew Kane's shooting, crying in her car. Willow is absolutely terrified that Brennan is going to leak that footage and completely ruin her shiny, perfect new image as Congresswoman Kane. So she promises Brennan that he's going to get exactly what he asked for. She hopes that if she delivers Valentine on a silver platter, the evidence of her crimes will stay buried forever. She is literally willing to throw her own mother and a teenage girl under the bus just to keep her own hands clean. I am sorry, but when did Willow become this entirely ruthless? Wait, I am getting ahead of myself. Let's really think about her history for a second. This is the same Willow Tate Kane who escaped the Donna Day cult, who was supposed to be this pure moral compass for Michael Corinthos and their entire family. And now she is out here injecting Drew with paralytics, stealing his congressional seat, and blackmailing international spies. Remember when they tried to make Nell Benson the ultimate villain of the younger generation? Yeah, didn't work out so well for Nell in the end, did it? But Willow is giving Nell a serious run for her money right now. And the worst part is the sheer hypocrisy of it all. She stands there judging Jacinda Bracken for having a past, screaming at Michael to keep Jacinda away from Wiley and Amelia while she is literally committing felonies. I know some people are loving this Dark Willow era, but personally, I am just waiting for the other shoe to drop and for Michael to finally open his eyes to the monster he married. And speaking of the other shoe dropping, can we please talk about Drew and Elizabeth? This was the scene of the night for me, hands down. While Willow is off making her dirty, treacherous deals with Brennan in her office, Elizabeth Baldwin stops by to spend some time with Drew. And because Willow isn't there to stand guard over him like a prison warden, Liz actually volunteers to watch him if another caregiver isn't available. This is exactly what we needed. We needed someone with actual medical training and a deep connection to Drew to be alone with him for 5 minutes. Drew is lying there in that bed, a literal prisoner in his own body because of Willow's paralytic drugs. And he makes another desperate attempt to blink an SOS. My heart was pounding out of my chest watching him. He is trying so incredibly hard to alert Elizabeth to his distress. And Liz, being the incredible observant veteran nurse that she is, actually notices. She starts wondering if he needs help, and you can see her struggling to understand what is going on with him. She knows he didn't just have a stroke. She knows something is terribly wrong here. I mean, Elizabeth has so much history with Jason and Drew. She knows these men better than anyone. She knows when they are fighting for their lives. But of course, the tension is just killing me because we all know Willow could walk back into that room at any second. Will Willow return and shut down Drew's attempt to answer Elizabeth's questions? I am absolutely dreading the moment Willow walks in and acts all innocent and concerned, playing the devoted sister-in-law. But I'm also entirely here for it if Liz walks away with major suspicions anyway. Liz is smart. She is not going to just let this go. If Drew is blinking SOS, Liz is going to decode it eventually. but the anxiety of watching her try to figure it out while we know Willow is just down the hall. It is top tier soap opera tension. I was literally yelling at my screen, "Hurry up, Liz. Figure it out before she comes back." Okay, back to the point. Let's shift gears to the absolute highlight of the week for me. Ethan Lovett is back in Port Charles. I cannot even begin to tell you how happy this makes my heart. The moment he popped back up on screen, I was cheering in my living room. And now we have Christina Corinthos Davis sitting down with Sonny. And Sonny is doing that classic overprotective mob boss dad thing, questioning her about Ethan's return. Sonny wants to know if it is awkward having her old crush around town again. And Christina gives him this "you got me" response, which was honestly so cute and genuine. But she quickly assures Sonny that she is only looking for Ethan's friendship and not a romance at this point. Yeah, right. Am I the only one who doesn't buy that for a single second? I mean, think about their history together. When Christina was dealing with that horribly abusive jerk, Kiefer Bauer, all those years ago, Ethan was so fiercely protective of her. He was her safe space. The chemistry between them is still so obviously there, people. I know she has been through a lot lately, but an Ethan and Christina romance revival is exactly what I want to see right now. And then we get the reunion I have been waiting for since the rumor started, Ethan and Tracy Quartermaine. Oh my goodness. The tears were real for this one. Tracy gets her chance to pull Ethan aside and interrogate him because that is just what Tracy Quartermaine does best. But Ethan, in true classic Luke Spencer fashion, just smiles and suggests she shouldn't ask questions that she doesn't want the answers to. It was such a perfect, nostalgic GH moment. The way Ethan reminds Tracy of Luke is just beautiful, and you can see exactly how much it affects her emotionally. Tracy loved Luke so much despite all his massive flaws, and seeing his son standing there with that same mischievous glint in his eye and that same refusal to play by the rules, it just tugs at your heartstrings. I am so glad the writers are giving us these moments honoring the legacy characters while pushing the new plots forward. But of course, we cannot have nice things without someone trying to ruin it, and that someone is Ric Lansing. Ric pays Alexis Davis a visit to ask what she knows about Ethan. Ric doesn't trust Ethan at all. He is so paranoid that Ethan is trying to infiltrate Sonny's organization for some nefarious purpose. He is just eager to get Alexis's take on Sonny's decision to hire Ethan. I'm sorry. But Ric needs to take several seats and mind his own business. Ric is always looking for a conspiracy, always trying to prove he is the smartest guy in the room. Sonny knows exactly what he is doing. Sonny knows Ethan is hiding something, but he feels like it's a good idea to keep Ethan close and figure out what it is. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer, right? Plus, Ethan hates Jen Sidwell just as much as Sonny does because of what Sidwell did to his mother, Holly Sutton, and his brother, Lucky. They are the perfect team to take Sidwell down once and for all. But Ric is just letting his growing concerns cloud his judgment and trying to stir up trouble where there doesn't need to be any. That plan to use Ethan is going to move forward despite Ric's whining, and I am so ready to see them take the fight to Sidwell. But Ric does drop one very interesting and terrifying nugget during this conversation with Alexis. He hints at some deeply unsettling news regarding Willow. Thanks to Nina, Ric is worried about Willow potentially hurting Drew again, or even hurting Michael. He starts fishing for info from Alexis, and you can just see Alexis getting completely on edge. Alexis is already stressed out of her mind about Danny Morgan trying to join the mob to avenge Jason. And now she has to worry about her nephew Michael sleeping next to a literal psychopath. Give Alexis a break. But I am glad someone else is starting to realize how dangerous Willow has become. If Ric and Alexis start digging into Willow's behavior, her house of cards is going to come crashing down so fast. Speaking of dangerous psychopaths, let's talk about Jen Sidwell and Ava Jerome. Jen's is absolutely terrifying. He is just so eerily calm when he says the most unhinged, violent things. He tells Ava that when someone crosses him, there is no going back. He makes it crystal clear that he does not stand for betrayals. And you have to remember, this is the man who is currently making Britt Westbourne's life a living nightmare over that cold fusion prototype, and who is fully prepared to wipe out Sonny Corinthos because Cassius Faison falsely convinced him that Sonny killed his son Marco Rios. Jen Sidwell is not a man who makes empty threats. When he says there's no going back, he means someone is going to end up in a body bag. And I am just sitting here shaking my head because Ava is playing the absolute most dangerous game of her entire life right now. Ava assures Sidwell that she is completely in his corner, but we all know Ava Jerome is only ever in Ava Jerome's corner. She is a survivor first and foremost. She is so used to dealing with local mobsters like Sonny or Julian, but Sidwell is a completely different breed. He is a ruthless global mercenary. He doesn't play by Port Charles mob rules. I am dreading what is going to happen when this inevitably blows up in her face. Didn't work well for the last person who crossed him, did it? If he finds out she has been playing him, or if she slips up even once, he will destroy her without a second thought. But at the same time, Ava Jerome is at her absolute best when she is backed into a dangerous corner. So maybe she has a brilliant trick up her sleeve that we haven't seen yet. Finally, we need a serious palate cleanser after all this darkness. And thank goodness for Giovanni Palmieri and Emma Scorpio Drake. They are officially kicking off their New York City adventure, and it is just the sweetest, most wholesome thing ever. They are checking out all of Gio's favorite spots in the city, posing for adorable pics, and having all the fun. It is such a massive breath of fresh air compared to all the mob drama, cover-ups, and medical hostage situations happening back in Port Charles. We needed this lighthearted romance to balance out the episode. Emma really desperately needs this trip. With everything going on with her grandmother, Anna Devane's mysterious medical condition, Emma has been so incredibly stressed and sad lately. Gio is just proving to be the absolute best boyfriend by taking her away from all of that to see Aladdin on Broadway. And the fact that Gio is actually old friends with Michael James Scott, who plays the genie Stop It, that is just too cool. General Hospital spoilers say Emma and Gio will grow much closer thanks to this romantic getaway, and I'm entirely here for it. We need some genuine light and romance on this show right now to keep us sane. But man, the rest of Port Charles is just a giant powder keg waiting to explode. Between Willow's treacherous lies, Drew desperately trying to blink for his life, Sidwell's deadly threats, and the inevitable clash over Ethan Lovett. I do not know how my heart is going to take next week's episodes. I am definitely going to need a lot more coffee and maybe some blood pressure medication. Let me know what you guys think in the comments because I am completely losing my mind over here. See you all next time.